Hey Alistair, here's your direction flower. Now, I made it a direction flower because you were sort of saying you felt like it was about you, and I know I agree with you. It's about you, and so I put it down as a direction flower because I thought that was sort of the closest thing that I could get. So I'm calling it a direction flower. I hope that's okay for you. So let's add your flower to the screen. Bring it over here so it's in front of me and I can see it a bit better. Okay. Right. So the first thing we look at, it is about you. Obviously, it's a portrait image, so it's definitely all about you. And it's done in a positive manner too. It's not like you feel that there's something wrong with you. You're just maybe not really sure where you're going or what you're doing, and you have this urge or this inner yearning to be doing something, to be creating something. Now, when I watched you draw your flower, start with your flower, you just got stuck straight into it. The girls, the others, all the others, were doing an edging, keeping in the lines and making sure the edges were right and creating all this structure. With yours, you didn't. You got stuck straight into it. And it was like, nah, I'm just going to allow this to free, to be me and to just let it grow and go and expand and move along as you go. And what I sort of felt like it was meaning, it felt like you were going, okay, this is who I am, or this is where I want to go. I'm just going to step forward and start. And then if it's not quite right, I'll change it and then I'll step forward again. And if that's not quite right, I'll change it and I'll step forward again. And it's like you're not afraid to go forward and look for what you want. You're not afraid to make those decisions and go into it. You don't care what other people, no, I shouldn't say you don't care because you are a carer, but you aren't as concerned about what other people think or say as much as how you are thinking or feeling, I should say. So I really enjoyed the fact that you just jumped straight in and you started doing your flower, and it was like, whew, I'm going. So yes, to me that does feel like a bit like your life. Now I don't know whether that is your life or whether that maybe not needs to be, but maybe you could look a little bit more like that. Maybe you could loosen off a little bit more and be a little bit more free flowing and not be as concerned or as structured with how you feel that other people should be seeing you or how you feel other people should be, you should be behaving for them. So it's sort of like almost like this freedom, like you've just sort of thrown away the shackles and sort of gone, here I am, love it or leave it, don't give a shit, here I am. And this is what you've done. And that's sort of the way that you approach this drawing, this painting. It was like with so much zest and zealous to sort of get in and I'm just going to have a go. And that was really, really cool. It was really good to watch. And I was watching you and you were really getting into it. So it was nice to see. So let's step back. We've got no stem. So, mate, you're already there. You don't need to worry about the journey to get there. No guides, don't need them. You are the only person that you need to achieve this particular goal. So to get an understanding of your direction and how it is and what it's all about, you only need you. There's really no path you need to take. There's really no advice you need to or guidance that you need. You've got it all there. So that was really easy. That's the end of it. No, I'm only joking. Okay, so no path, no guides, no need. Let's go straight to the attraction. Let's go straight to the petals. Now, we can see that the actual image itself is of a relatively circular shape if it could fit on the paper. So it is of a relatively circular shape. So the whole outlook of the whole goal is of a nurturing nature, of feminine nature. It's more nurturing, it's more caregiving, it's more supportive. So that's lovely. The petals of attraction suggest that they need to be more masculine. So they need to be more direct and more on point. It needs to be more deliberate is what I'm looking for. It needs to be more deliberate. Now, when we look at your image, you've got distinct shapes in them. And then this one, look at this one. It's not quite a shape or anything. which I find quite fascinating. So we know that that's a petal, and we know where it starts and ends, and we can see the shading and everything in it. But this one just sort of goes off to the side. So what I'm thinking with this is, if we were looking at this as attraction, what are we looking at? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this big one here. So we could be looking at different areas of you, different aspects of you that you want to portray to others. This one here, we're not really sure whether we want to portray it. And this could be a situation in your life that you've had that you're not quite ready to share yet. And that's why it is still not complete. We haven't got the full understanding of it. So if there's an area here that you're not wanting to share, it's more than likely that's the area that you need to go. Like that's what happens with life. I'm prepared to share this. I'm prepared to share this. And I can't get enough of this. And this one, well, I just can't fit this on the page. Definitely prepared to share this because this is really, really safe for me. And so is this and this. But this one, it's a big deal, but I'm not ready to share it yet. I'm not prepared to put that right out in the spotlight yet. I need to get a better understanding of it. And only you can do that. And there's areas here that you've got a little bit of damage on, like, are the petals damaged? Has there been a bruise there? Has there been an issue there in your life that, a hiccup? And it's stupid to say has there, because we all have hiccups. We all have those issues that are happening. And that's just, for want of another word, marking your attraction there, because you might not have gone deep enough with it. This one here, you're not prepared to go to, but this one you've shown, you put it out there, and maybe there needs a little bit more work because it's still just coming up as a bit of a dark area for you. So the petals of attraction, and we've got the beautiful, the yellow, and I actually look at inspirational for the yellow for you there. Because especially this one, this is really inspirational. You've got a story there that, that's what it is. Is it public speaking? Is it being out there? Is it public speaking? You've got a story here that's really motivational, and it's not of a negative nature. It's just a positive one. These ones have got hiccups in them that will help people. If this is some sort of it's not a group work. It's definitely individual work, and I would be saying it's something like motivational speaking or something along those lines. I think you need to start expressing yourself in a public manner, and I don't mean just yelling abuse at everybody, but expressing yourself and helping you get through some of the things here and help you smooth over some of those. When I go through it, I look back at my podcast. I've got to give you this explanation. I don't know how else to explain it. I look back at my podcast, and I've always wanted to do public speaking. I do way too many ums and ahs for that, probably at this stage. But I wanted to do public speaking, and COVID hit at the time when I was going to be more active in doing it. So I couldn't do public speaking because COVID was there. So I started the podcast. And since starting the podcast now, when I first started it, I would type it all out and I would read, and it was like blah, 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 because I was just too scared to speak from the heart. But as I got better at it, and my only commitment for the podcast was I had to have a podcast every week. I had to do something. Then it allowed me to soften up. I got guests in. I could talk if I didn't have a guest. I had plenty of conversations I could talk. Now that I've got guests all the time, I can talk about my stuff with the guest, and we can have a conversation about it. So when they bring up an issue, we can discuss it. I can share my issues with it as well, and we go along like that. That's what I'm seeing in this. That's what I'm seeing with your image. It's about you speaking out, and it's almost like that center, that heart is your voice coming out and opening up. and the petals of the attraction are the stories of your life that you've got that you want to share. And that's how I see this image. And I'm not supposed to be reading the whole image like this, but that's how I see this image. It's like you needing to stand up and be counted, be heard. There's lots of areas in your life that you can share, and you can share in such a lovely manner that it is going to help a lot of people. Definitely on the masculine side, though. Definitely on the masculine side. So I see those flowers, and I do see them as very, very inspirational. Those words, they're not, this is inspirational. This is inspirational. We've still got a bit of muddiness coming up in it. So, okay, for an example, with say this petal here, right? It's very masculine. It's very to point. This has still got, these ones here have still got that softness to them. This one's quite firm, quite hard. What I see with this one, and because it's got the darkness in it, what I see with this one is that you don't have a full understanding of that story yet and the bruising in it to be able to share it. When I talk about my near-death experience, I couldn't talk about that until I had an understanding of what it was and what it meant. When I talk about my other stories, you have to have it clear. And by talking over with podcasts and getting an understanding of it through podcasts or through group sessions is another one, but through group sessions, you will get a better understanding of it, and you will be able to express it in a way that people will hear it, how they need to hear it. Orange, we've got orange or brown. What color are they? That's definitely orange. That's more of the brown. Isn't it funny when you look at that? It's got so much depth in it. It really looks like it's a real circle with the real deep inside. And that looks really amazing. But so the orange is sincere. I'll go to sincere with orange. And the sincerity is what's going to bring it forward. So it's inspirational, but to have that sincerity come through, it's got to be real. If you were sharing a story, say this story here, which isn't as motivating, it's not got the yellow in it, and not inspiring, isn't as inspiring because it hasn't got the yellow in it. It has got sincerity in it, but that one's not going to get you forward as much as this one or this one or this one. So we can look at it different ways. The other aspect we look at too is you've got a bit of structure in it. Now, it's soft. It's not hard, firm lines. It's soft structure, which suggests to me that when you are talking, you may go off tangent. Like me. You may go off tangent, but you've still got that structure. You've still got to bring it back to that structure and get that in line and understanding. All this is going to help you bring this one forward. Okay, all this expression, this talking, this understanding will help bring this one forward. And you'll get a better understanding of that and what it is, because that's still in the future. We just aren't clear of that yet. The ones in the past, you may not need to even express a lot of them. They're sort of going off the page. It's like not as important, can't fit it on. Or it might be that, like me, you talk too much and you can't fit it all in. So when we're doing tree drawings, it's like if the leaves go off of the page, it's like you're just so busy you can't get everything done, come back again. So that could be that too. So that's your attraction. And for you to get what you need, you've got to start putting it out there. So like attracts like, as we know, you've got to start talking. You've got to start putting yourself out there, get onto podcasts, get on into a group situation where you can start to verbalize it, go online to live chats if you want to. If there's a particular group that you know that it's a safe group, do a couple of live chats, things like that, and allow yourself to start to express it. When we look at the heart center, because it's all coming back into the heart center. When we look at the heart center, we've got this nice, soft brown. Yeah, soft brown with a little black flecks and then this lovely deep red inside. So the soft brown, it's bringing in that conservative. Okay, so, and then that little red, little bit at the middle is that passion. Now, yeah, definitely passion. Okay, and the darkness is not. Could be a little bit of fear, but I don't think so. No, no. No, keep going back to fearful. There's a bit of fear still in expressing it. There's a bit of fear in your heart still, which could be some of these other areas there. You know, you're still expressing. There's a little bit of fear in there, a little bit of fear in the background. It's a darker background, you know, slightly shushed area. I think that looks like mauve. Gosh, it's hard to see in this light. But anyway, when we look at that, I am bringing in that conservative, okay, the conservative heart. And when we say that is when you're doing talks and when you're interacting with other people, and especially being a male, a lot of females will feel that you're really connected to them. Oh, he knows exactly how I feel. You know, like they get with when people sing songs and that. Oh, they know exactly how I feel. You've got to be a little bit conservative in your heart center, in your, you know, in that aspect, because you may attract not the wrong people, but people with the wrong ideas. Okay, so be conservative in how you're interacting with people. They can take it the wrong way really quickly otherwise. And especially when you're caring and you're giving and you're sharing some, you know, heavy emotional stuff, you may find that, you know, women may just want to come up and cuddle you and go, oh, you poor thing, you know, doing all that nurturing thing, going overboard instead of just allowing you to have your space and do your thing. So just be mindful of that. Be conservative when it comes to the heart until they get close enough where you can allow your passion to come through. All right. There's going to be a bit of fear around that too, which is totally understandable. But those that are allowed in, like Sarah, they can see the passion. They're allowed to see that side of you, that beautiful, nurturing, passionate side of you. But those on the outside can see you've got it, but they just cannot. Don't let them in too close to that, because that is your sacred space and they could take it wrong. They could do it wrong. And maybe that's how you're feeling at this particular stage. I'm not sure. Or whether this is sort of like I feel like I'm saying it as a warning, but I think you already know that. I think you've already got your guard up here. I'm being conservative here, but you've got this little dark ring here. I've got my guard up. And you're only letting in those particular people that you're letting in. And that's why, especially when you're out there, because this sort of feels like you're really out there. You're out there in public. You're out there doing your thing. It's so, it's not flamboyant. It's so extroverted. And being that extroverted, it's almost like, yeah, I'm going to be that. I'm going to talk and I'm going to do that and I'm going to say that. But I've got to protect myself a little bit. You know, I'm just going to be a bit conservative when it comes to talking of love. And I'm just going to keep that for the very few that need it and the one that I want to show my passion to, you know. And things like even if you're getting married, you know, you can show your passion by having that lovely embrace to kiss the bride. But you won't be doing that so much outside where others, you know, if you're doing this talking type of thing, you'll be very, very conservative when it comes around that. Unless someone's really pissing you off, and then you definitely kiss the bride. Tell them all to go. But that's that. But overall, we have got a bit of background there. So there is a bit of shadowing in the background. There's a few little sort of hiccups. That looks more like a mauvey background. Probably more nostalgic. because you're going to bring in the past down there. What else can I see in this? I'm really attracted to that heart center. It's really lovely. It's almost a perfect circle, isn't it? And then you got circle in the circle. No, I think that is about it. I'm quite intrigued to see what this area here, which is a big area of your life here, that you're not prepared to talk about yet. You're not, I shouldn't say not prepared to talk about it. You're not ready to share it with the world. And that's fair enough. You don't have to. These ones are going to be hard to share with the world. That's enough for you at this stage. Yep, I think that's it. Okay, so I hope you like that, Alistair. You will certainly be out there and expressing yourself to a group of some sort, a bigger group, that's for sure. None of this one-on-ones for you, mister. You've got to get out there a little bit bigger. Oh, it sort of runs in line with Sarah's, doesn't it? Because she's doing the group for the ladies. There you go. You might be doing a men's group. I don't know. I think it's a little bit more about you. Sarah seems to be more about the group, but this image seems to be more about you and the words that you speak, and not sharing. Sarah's sharing skills, you're sharing experience, personal experience, something to that effect. Anyway, that's it, because I'm going to go and cook dinner. Some of us have to still do those mundane, horrible jobs like cooking dinner. I hate. Anyway, that's me. I'm the worst cook in the world. That's me. Have a great week, and we'll catch up with you soon. Hopefully, Sarah will tell you all about it. Okay, bye for now.